I thought I'd do a video since it's been a while since I've done one, and I know I've lost a few subscribers due to inactivity, and can't say I blame you for that. But I thought I'd talk about my theory of how we should introduce Sasquatch to the public. My plan or my theory is much different than the normal researcher. I don't even consider myself a researcher because I don't take notes. I don't look for tracks or prints. Don't do any tracking. What I do basically is go into the woods and visit them, just like I would go to your house and visit you. Little difference in having a house and living out in the woods is you don't have a and my battery's died. As I was saying, you don't have a specific place to go to visit them. I think I've narrowed down the spot I believe that they spend a lot of time in, and I go to that spot. There's actually 2 or 3 different areas within a couple hundred feet of each other that I go to. I don't always video. My idea is that if we go in and just talk to them like we are their friends, explain to them what's going on with us, what's happening in our community, how that some of our people are wanting to hunt them down and kill them for evidence, and that we want to avoid that. My theory is that they have no intent to harm us. Like human beings, they have their, I guess, rogue factor that is out there that may have mental disorders or whatever that cause them to act violently, and possibly are a part of the reason that there are missing people. I'm not saying that they're the biggest cause, but my basic thought is that humans are much more violent. Humans are the worst thing on this planet. Because we do harm to this planet, and we really need to quit that. They're out there doing nothing to harm the planet. They keep themselves hidden so they can hunt, so they can provide themselves food. Other reasons that they keep themselves hidden is probably number one, to avoid us, because we are the bad part of this world. I doubt anybody really would disagree with that. Now I'm talking in a sense of nature, that we're the bad part of the world. There's a lot of evidence that they have their own language, that they do interact with people occasionally. Actually, the biggest reason that I chose this area was the report that is called the 2001 Anderson County report. It's on the, I believe it's on the BFRO site. What occurred was a truck driver going down the highway sees something in the middle of the road, just a 2-lane highway. So he comes to a stop and looks at this dark object sitting on the center line. He sits there for a second, and then all of a sudden he sees a much larger creature walk up from the right side of the road and try to catch this little one that's sitting on the center line. He says the little one is scooting like not a pre-toddler would on the floor. As he's sitting there watching, apparently the father collecting this child from the street, from the road. He looks to his left and notices that Mom is standing right there at his door. Now, he's in an 18-wheeler. He claims that Mom comes up to eye level with him, which would probably make her around 8 feet tall. I guess considering the situation, he's pretty calm at this time because he has his window rolled down. He asks if the baby is okay, and she gives him a smile. She reaches in and strokes his beard. And then he realizes that her man has the same type of beard that he does. That's the one thing that happened in this story that made me think that they really don't intend us any harm. Now, where this happened is where they would cross the road coming from my area to go north. My process when I go to visit is to simply go out, pick a spot, sit there. I'll have my drink, I'll have my camera, but not necessarily have it on. I invite them to come speak with me. Now, I realize that they're not going to come out in the open and speak with me when they do decide to come towards me. They're going to stay in an area that they think they won't be seen by me. But eventually I hope that they will come out and communicate with me, just like Jane Goodall did with the chimps. She eventually got them to come up to her and take food from her hands. I'm not sure they'll do the exact same thing, but I do expect them to acknowledge me and at least have some type of communication with me. Now, last summer, before the end of the season, now my season is from March to the end of August, because that's the only time this part of the WMA is open. The rest of the time it's closed for hunters. Although there's still hunters out during the time I'm there. I rarely see the hunters, and usually when I go out there, I'm the only one out there, because there's only one road in and out, and you see any vehicle that's out there. Once they come and establish some communication with me, I will try to explain to them my thoughts about how our people are, how most of our people don't realize that they're actually out there. And I will try to find out why they want to avoid us, although I think I know. I will explain to them that there are many of us out in the human community that want to do them harm, but there's many more of us who would rather see them flourish, and I want to explain to them my idea that we need to slow down in moving into their territory. We need to realize that they were here a lot longer than we've been here. Once I've got their trust, my plan is to ask one of them to come with me to meet the biologist that's over this area. If that's not a suitable to them, then maybe they will allow him to come see them. We can meet in the spot where we're talking, where we're communicating. He doesn't believe they're out there. I've seen them on my video. I know they're out there. I've been growled at by one of them because I scared his pig away. Can't blame him for that. But, you know, basically, I wanted to come here and explain the reason that I haven't done any videos in a while, and also my theory on the best way to introduce these creatures to the scientific community, at least. I think it needs to be more of a social event instead of a scientific event. A lot of people go out there in their camouflage, start looking for tracks, looking for signs. You got to realize that they're out there watching us. all those things that researchers do are the same things that hunters do when they're looking for a good spot to hunt. Sasquatch is going to recognize this. That is going to keep them back in the bush and hidden from us. A lot of people say that they don't like bright colors. I don't know where that came from. I don't see how anybody can come to that conclusion without having spoken to them. And I know a few people have spoken to them. That's another thing that influences my decision to just sit down and have a talk with them. Now, I think it's strange that I'm pretty much socially inept. I've got anxiety issues, and they keep me from interacting with people, especially when there's several people in one place. One or two, maybe a handful of people I'm fine with. You get a party together, and my mind just goes all over the place, and I can't concentrate on anything, basically. I've got to have something specific to concentrate on. Otherwise, I'm not collecting all the information that's coming to me from that room. But it's odd that I can come up with this theory that they will react to me coming to them socially instead of coming to them with the intent to hunt them down and find them. I already know where they are. I'm not hunting them. It's a totally different atmosphere out in the woods by yourself. I guess that calms me. You know, it's relaxing out there. I understand why they like it out there. Sometimes I wonder why I just don't go out there and live with them. It's a much more relaxing environment for me. So I think once they come and pay attention to what I'm saying and doing, and they realize that I'm out there for their benefit, I can explain to them that I'm there not only to help them, but to get their help for us. Their help for us is introducing themselves to us, so we know that they're out there. It's their world. We can't destroy it like we've been doing. This area that I go to is unique in that it's closed off by the river and the highway that's in the front of that area. And I'm guessing that's why there's no bears in this area. The river just winds and basically wraps around the area. I want to thank everybody for subscribing. You know, I don't have a lot of you, but I can understand with my inactivity how my viewership is down. Doesn't build like the normal researchers does that have the opportunity to go out. I'm 140 miles from my area, so I can't just pick up and go anytime I want. Takes me almost 2 hours to get there. I guess basically that's it. Thanks again for subscribing. Hit that like button, or don't. I'm not really interested in all that. You know, I got my job to do out in the woods. That's what I'm interested in. I'm just doing this to share it with you and get the word out that they're there, and there's other options to get evidence that proves that they're there. We don't have to have a cadaver or hair samples or whatever to take to a scientist when the scientist could actually meet one. Sounds a little off the wall, but to me it sounds like the way it should be done. Y'all have a good day.